had money, if you had jewelry, and if you couldn't defend your stuff or protect it, you were getting took and you were going to get killed. And all my life I've seen murders and robberies, and I became a part of that. And I took the choice to become a part of it because when you think about it, I have a brother who's like one of the top trauma surgeons in the country. I had a sister that was a teacher before she passed. And so I come from a very educated background. I never passed the 9th grade because I was just so entrenched into the street world. I was just very allured to that. That was really what I wanted to be because you saw instant gratification as far as respect was concerned. In the street world, I didn't have much patience, and that's what I wanted. So I started getting involved with crime at a young age. My first arrest, I guess I was 10 years old, my first arrest. Pickpocket, jostling. And so when I went to the institution, I realized I'm in this form. All my friends are here. Everybody that saw me on the streets, pickpocketing other guys from different boroughs, and I got addicted to it even more. So I wasn't afraid to go to jail anymore. And so I became a more advanced criminal, so to speak. I remember one day we were in a house, we were robbing somebody's house, and I thought I was talking to my friend. Somebody was whispering. I thought I was talking to my friend, and there was someone else in the house. And I thought I was talking to my friend. So as I told him I heard somebody, we both were leaving the house, and my friend who thinks he's a professional, he tried to lock the door, but the guy came, opened the door, and blew his brains out right there. Oof. Yeah, and I ran. I was 12. He must have been 14. I ran. Because that's what you do. You try to get away, and I ran. And you would think that God, that would just send somebody straight. They're saying that me and my other friends, we hooked up a little bit later. Let's get another house, and that's just what it was. This is how we lived our life. Most of my friends are pretty much dead. Else they got so much time. I'm going to visit some guys tomorrow. And they got caught under this Rockefeller law. They got 240 years. One of my friends got 5 life sentences. He's only 50. And so these are the people that I go see once a month, sometimes twice a month, because these are my friends. These are who we grew up. These are the guys I stayed over their house when my mother was doing what she was doing. These are my family, and that's what I do. I go see all my friends, and they'll be so intrigued to know I'm at this particular type of event talking about the situation when we were talking about, I was hearing them talking about these hard laws and helping people when they get out. It's going to be a real neat trick to do that because those laws was the guidelines to put them in there for a long time because the people don't want them to ever come out and still get $60,000 from them, or us, so to speak. So I'm one of those guys. So I went away in this other prison institution, and it's called Tryon. So I'm in Tryon. And I'm kind of like a badass guy, so somebody said something, or he pulled at my hand, so I stabbed some guy, and I went to another correction. Then I went there, I got introduced to a gentleman by the name of Bobby Student. He started teaching me how to box, because I thought I was a tough guy. I didn't know anything about being a tough guy, but I thought I was. And so I went there, and it was so ironic, he didn't want me to go, because I kept improving. I broke his nose, and he was a professional fighter, and I'm 12 years old. And so I had this miraculous, this was just such an opportunity. I met a gentleman by the name of Custom, an old Italian man. And when I went there, he talked to me. He talked to me for 2 weeks. He was talking, I thought he was a pervert because he was saying all these things that I'm beautiful and I could do this. But when I sparred, I was getting shellacked. So I knew there was no way that he would think that I was a good fighter, but he saw something that I still don't see what he saw. To this day, I don't know how it worked. And he said that I was going to be champ, I was going to do all this stuff, and that's what made me think this is a perv. Because where I come from, everybody's trying to, it's a perv. I live in perv cities, and everybody's trying to do this. No, this real talk, though. I'm talking to you, man, I started listening to this Italian guy, and he teaches me to fight, and I'm 14 years old. I win this national championship, then I won this junior national champion. I'm breaking records. I knock a guy out in 8 seconds. How did that happen? And he still told me I was imperfect. I was wrong. I was flawed. So I didn't know how that worked, and I just started listening. I said, when I went back home, I was getting ready to do some more robberies. Because every now and then I would go back to Brooklyn and do robberies and come back because the state was paying them like $150 a month, and that wasn't even paying for my pants and my sneakers. So I always went back home and did robberies and came back with nice clothes and told them that my friends gave me these clothes because the older brother can't fit them anymore, something like that. Some ridiculous story. And one day when we were going to do another robbery, a friend of mine just told me, no, you're with those white people, Mike. Stay with them. These people love you, Mike. I saw you win this champion. They love you. So to my friend that told me that, me and him was together one day. We went by a dice game, and we know these guys. These are our friends, guys we grew up with. But something was different. I saw them when we looked at the dice game. We didn't gamble, but they looked at each other. No one said hi. I said, what's up? Everyone said hi to me, but they didn't talk to him. And so we left, and a week later they told me that they killed him. And so my friend saw me and said, Mike, man, you walked off the game with him. I thought you would kill too. Because I didn't know these guys were having this little secret war, because I was just coming back and forth. I didn't know the information. And so ever since my friend died, I stayed up there and I never came back, and I became successful. And I became champion at 20 years old, the youngest champion ever. I won titles. I had everything in the world, but I still had that darkness in me. I had hundreds of millions, I had money, but I still had that darkness in me. That darkness wasn't out of me yet. And I got in a whole bunch of trouble. I got involved with people who had made me no good. And I lost a lot of money. I kept getting lawsuits. Lawsuits this, lawsuit here, lawsuit here. Most of my money I tricked off on lawsuits. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You could listen. If I spend $250 million on girls and trips and clothes, that's nothing to what I did on lawsuits, okay? So they really got me good with those lawsuits, but I still didn't have peace. I still had that old darkness from back before. And then, because, of course, my father and mother, they're addicts, and I'm not fighting anymore, and I have nothing to do, why not I become an addict? Because that's just how it goes, right? So I become this addict now, because I always drank my whole life, never stopped drinking. And I became this addict. I've been getting in a lot of trouble. What happened? I had some kids from being an addict. I married some people from during my addict stage. And, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So listen, and so I started going through this process of I'm cutting clean. So I get clean for a year. I get clean for 5 years, but then I relapse. And the reason why I relapsed is because I didn't have a spiritual awakening. I just wasn't using drugs. I wasn't sober. I just wasn't using drugs and liquor. I just wasn't using. I was miserable, right? So eventually I received that spiritual awakening. And this is listen, trust me. This is when I'm at the height of my career, I don't want to make this long, but listen, at the height of my career, I got, 40 million in the fire, I'm doing this, I'm going, I got boats, I got plans, I got everything. But they wouldn't touch me, a cartoon wouldn't touch me with a 1,000,000-foot pole. Now I got the #1 cartoon on television. I got an Emmy, I got a Golden Globe. This is ridiculous stuff. I don't believe this is true, but yeah, I got, I'm not perfect yet, but I'm just trying to get this stuff on track. And I'm taking